Staph infections in surgery patients can be a problem. In a first step, the researchers examined the nasal secretions of a random sample of 677 patients admitted to various hospitals for surgery. They found that 122 tested positive for S. aureus, which is responsible for most staph infections. Is this evidence that more than 15% of patients admitted for surgery are carriers for S. aureus? Well, in order to conduct this test, we're looking to see if there is evidence that more than 15% of patients admitted for surgery are carriers. So if P is the proportion of patients that are actually carriers, we're going to try to argue that P is greater than 0.15, greater than 15%. So the null hypothesis would be that P is actually just equal to 0.15. So we're going to run our test. Now the sample data that we found 122 tested positive out of a sample of 677, and we could use a 1 proportion z-test in our TI calculator. In StatCrunch, if I were to come over here and press Stat, we're doing proportion statistics, 1 sample, and we have the summary data. So again, let's enter the number of successes, 122 positives, the number of observations. Our sample size was 677. We're testing to see if P is equal to 0.15. We're trying to argue that it is actually greater than our alternative. And so here I can plot the p-value. So if I press compute, here I have my box with my results. And so our test statistic, our z-statistic, is 2.201 with a p-value of 0.0139. All right, since this p-value is quite small, smaller than 0.05, which is our typical assumed significance level, this is considered strong evidence that more than 15% of those admitted are carriers for staph. In StatCrunch, if you arrow once to the right here, you can actually see the p-value plotted on the standard normal distribution.